All right, let's do this. It's been a while since we've done ourselves a live stream with Risk. Colin, hello. Nelson, welcome. I see we've already got a couple of folks in here. You can see Nelson's been playing quite a bit. He's ranked intermediate now. So if anybody else wants to join and they aren't already a friend with me on here, you can see 2CQBN is the code to join the game. As soon as we've got 6, we'll ready up and we'll go. So I was playing a little War of Rights earlier, so you guys will see that video later today. And then I'm going to get back to Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. I've got to record another video for that either later today or first thing tomorrow morning. So we'll give some time for a couple more folks to join. Oh, Mr. Beep and Nelson, I'm sure that you will do just fine. Yeah, I know you guys have been playing quite a bit. So you can see the game ID down there. If you want to join, you can join in using that code. I believe it's cross-platform. I think you can play on mobile device. All right, JD Kerr, bring it on in. JD Kerr, I'm sorry. There's Farmer. I'm assuming that's Farmer KJ. Next 2 to get in. I will wait, JD, but it just depends on if anybody else gets in ahead of you. Sometimes we have a bit of a competition to be the first ones to squeeze into the game, but we haven't done one of these for a while, so. Hey, there's JD. Nice. We're playing on the United States map first, and then we'll do a traditional map. I was watching the first half of the Manchester United game against Sheffield on TV with my son before we started. We got room for one more. No, Mr. Beep, not at all. Go for it. Michael, what's up? Room for one more, whoever wants to get in. You can see the code there at the bottom. I'm going to send... Oh, JD, did I do that? Did I accidentally kick you out? Dude, I'm sorry if I did. I thought I was able to click on somebody and I was trying to add you as a friend. I didn't mean to kick you out. All right, let's make sure we get JD back in. So I'm going to leave that last one open for him. So if anybody else joins, I'll kick you out. I want to make sure JD gets back in because he was already there. Yeah, there's a lot of different maps, Farmer, that we can do on this. And that's one of the cool things about it is there's a lot of replayability because they've added all these other maps. So we'll give JD a second to get in there, and once he does, we're going to go ahead and just make sure you hit ready, because when I start, it's going to give you 10 seconds to hit ready, and if you don't, we'll have to do this all again. There we go. Sweet. All right. Make sure you hit ready. I wish I could change this. This is my old logo that I had, but it won't let me update it for some reason because it's linked to Steam. Even though I've changed it on Steam, it hasn't changed it on here. All right. Hopefully everybody got validated and is ready. Oh, I'm last. Are you kidding me? I'm so tired of being last. I'm last and I'm spread out all over the place. Oh, boy. This will be interesting. Good luck, all. Looks like Nelson's third. Farmers first, JD second, Nelson third, Schnitzel's fourth, Mr. Beep is fifth. All right, I got to turn on my little info screen here so we can see what everybody's got as far as troops and territories. Hanson, at some point I may, down the road, play some Star Wars Empire at War, but too many other things that I either am already playing or need to play to get to that right now. Yeah, Michael, being last is sometimes a good thing. The only time it's a bad thing, I think, is when it comes to turning in cards, because everybody else gets their chance to turn in their cards first. But you do get a couple of bonus armies, and you get a little bit better view of how things are shaking out. This is kind of interesting. We've got JD and Nelson very strong up in New England. Here's how the continents kind of shake out. I love our German friend Schnitzel with Joseph Stalin for his icon. Oh, and he's already got himself a continent. Man, he lucked out. Look at all of his territories are all in one place, unlike me who's spread out all over the place. Nothing's really connected for me at all. Green, man, he's in a really strong position to start. Yeah, JD, you'll notice there's a delay between what we're playing and what you see on the stream. Mr. Beep, hit California. Do it. Do it. No, not there. Should have hit California. That's where he has a continent. That doesn't help us take out his continent at all. All right. Let's see. Sounds good, Michael. So usually by the time the second turn is over, you start to get a sense of what everyone's strategy is, you know, what they're trying to do, where they're trying to go. Sometimes maybe a little longer. It depends on how everybody's kind of arrayed across the battlefield. Oh, Colin, I'm headed for Ohio. Don't worry. Mr. Beat, did you just get up? My daughter just got up. It's like 2 o'clock, but she stays up really late. I was up around 9:30 this morning when my wife headed to work. Green's going to get his continent to start the turn. Now it's going to be hard to get it back from him again. You can see here he's got a really strong position because you got the Rocky Mountains right here. And so he's only got to defend 2 territories to hold everything back here. That's why it was so good that he was able to get so much territory in the west to start. It's such an easily defensible position. And eventually those numbers are going to start to add up. He gets that bonus of 2 every single time. So if you haven't already, please hit that like button. I'd greatly appreciate that. That helps anytime you watch anybody on YouTube. I say this all the time so people understand how it works. Hey, nicely done, Mr. Beep. Breaking in on his continent. Hitting like, leaving comments, and watching as much of the video as possible are the 3 things that YouTube loves. And it helps you to helps to recommend your video to more people, so more people will see it, more people will subscribe, and more people will view. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot you can't attack across right here. The Mississippi River is apparently uncrossable. Yeah, I think we'll just chill right there for now. So now everybody's taking 2 turns. You can see Mr. Beep's pretty thin at the moment in terms of men, but he does have 7 territories and they're pretty spread out. So that's the one thing that helps him. And Farmer and I are both sitting pretty strong as far as the number of armies, but not necessarily in a position to take a continent right now. Nice, Michael. Hey, Polska. I got to do that too. I need to upgrade my drivers. It's been quite a while. JD, no War Thunder stream later, but later in the week, yes. Maybe Friday? Maybe even tomorrow. We'll see. It depends on what my tomorrow looks like. I really don't know my schedule yet for tomorrow. All right, let's see what JD's up to. Only 5 territories, but 24 armies on those territories. Yeah, Farmer has a continent now right here. You can see it outlined in orange. That kind of gives it away. You can see here purple is outlined, so you know he's got a continent right there. Going to highly recommend that he start pulling his armies out of there because I'm not going to let that stand. So Nelson might. Yep, there he goes. Should have been pulling your armies, Purple, out of, who is that? That's JD. I would have been pulling those guys back on your fortify phase to build up and hold that continent because it's only 2 territories. You could have held it, but you're kind of spread out a little too much. Hey, Caitlin Rose Bartley, how's it going? All right, yeah, Purple, you better start pulling out of the Midwest because I'm a coming that direction. So if you want to keep your armies intact, I suggest moving them out. All right, so after 3 turns now, you can see that 2 of us, that would be Schnitzel and Mr. Beep, did not get a 3rd card. Just because of the situation. In fact, Mr. Beep's in an interesting position here where he's got no more than 1 on any one of his territories at the moment. 7 armies, 7 territories. But he's spread out, which is probably going to keep him alive. We're going to have to watch down here. Farmer could get pretty strong, especially once they're able to turn in cards. Yeah, Polska, I've got a solid state drive on mine too, so it's nice how fast it boots up. All right, JD's up. The South is rising again. That's all right, Captain Rex. Good to have you here. Dryer Whisper, hello. It's a civil war all over again. And so JD's the first one to turn in cards and went big in the Midwest. Interesting. That'll work out for you right now, but you only have 3 territories, and lots of other people still have cards to turn in. While you guys are taking your turns, I'm on Twitter reporting a impersonator of my daughter's account. I don't know what's going on that now you can create an identical account. I don't know, maybe with a space is how it works, but it seems like there's a lot of impersonators on Twitter right now. Okay, what do we do here? Decisions. Ouch. Well, that didn't work out so well. Dang. Not my best day for rolls, that's for sure. Good news is I still have cards. Captain Rex, yeah, it'll be good sometime. When I have some time to play some more War Thunder, we can do that. Hey JD, you're the one that went after the Midwest on me. And now you will pay for it because I'm going to be turning in cards. and I'm going to be taking out that one territory of yours. I mean, you can probably attack me if you want, but you won't be able to take me out completely, and then I'll come after you with cards. So you're better off probably to march your way out of Ohio and down into here somewhere before I come after you. Mr. Beep, I wouldn't say you need more training. It's just one of those things sometimes. Like the randomness of the roll sometimes, the randomness of where you get assigned. There's so many things that go into it. Rarely does the best player win on this game. There you go. Keep going. Take Orange's territory. He's going to get too hard to beat if you don't march down. Go one more. One more. There you go. That'll mess Orange up. I wouldn't go too far, though. Don't spread yourself too thin. Robert, how's it going? Crazy Warriors cat fan, take care. Good luck, Nelson. Come on now. See, we didn't have to summon Nelson today. There are two ways to summon Nelson. One is to sing Rule Britannia, which is what we do when we're playing other games. The other way is just to create a private match on Risk, and he will join right away. Hey, JD, don't say you're welcome to me. That's you're welcome to everybody, because that helps all the rest of us, because he was getting too powerful over there. Nelson's carving out his niche in New England. Oh, Green's got his cards. Look out. Smart move. Now he's going to gobble up the two cards from yellow. Sorry, Mr. Beep. Man, Green's going to be tough to stop because he's got really strong positions now where his armies are. Or where his defense of his continent is. Oh, I forgot to put it back on Blitz. Britannia rules the waves. Yeah, Robert, this is a nice casual gaming experience compared to some of the games that we do streams on. And if you guys are just joining, if you'd hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Helps a lot. Farmer's going to get some of that territory back, at least take back this continent here. We're going to have a bit of a détente here. We're going to have Nelson with his two continents in the northeast. We've got Farmer with a continent here and most of another one. And then right here, there's a big battle. Looks like Schnitzel's got a little room to work up here. James, how's it going? It's been interesting. It's kind of gone back and forth. There's not really been any real clear dominant leader, although I would say certainly Orange and Green are doing really well for themselves. And orange has got 3 cards again. So does green. So I think green's going to be really tough to beat because it's such a strong defensive position over here. Dread Minion. Dear Sir Nelson, as current governor of the province in which I dwell, I formally request you increase taxation on all paper goods in the region. Nelson's got 2 continents and some cards to trade in. That's going to make it tough. Mr. Beep, it's going to depend on how long they last. I would expect 2, just because of how long they go, but we'll see. We'll do a traditional map after this one. Who's my favorite World War II German general? Oh, I'm a Rommel guy, though I don't think Rommel was as good as some people say he was. I don't think he was this incredible master tactician. Like, I don't think Rommel was as good a general as Patton. But as far as the Germans go, yeah, I would say he's up there. You know, a lot of the German generals were Nazis, and it's hard for me to support that. Rommel was, I mean, I guess nominally supportive of the Nazis, or he wouldn't have stayed in his position as long as he did. But, yeah, I'm a Rommel fan. Decisions. Actually, you know what I'm going to do here? Let's do this. And then we'll pull these guys back. Nelson, I'm not coming after you. I just want to make sure you don't come after me. Ooh, boy. I probably could have broke in on this continent, but I thought orange probably could use the armies against green. Hanson, he was the Desert Fox. Desert Fox. Wolf and Fox, pretty closely related. Colin, Rommel did not try to kill Hitler, though he was accused of in that plot. And he may have known about it. I don't think he was actively involved in the plot, but I think he may have been aware that it was happening. Oh, JD's hanging on by a thread. Please declare war on the French, then increase taxes. All right, so Julie, let's see. Of the people in the chat, which I think everybody is, Mr. Beep got knocked out. He was right here. I'm blue. Schnitzel is green out here. This is Nelson, red. And Farmer is right here with the orange. And JD is purple. Yeah, orange. If orange can turn in cards, they're going to march all over. Oh, no, I guess orange already took their turn. Looks like Nelson's going to be the one who gets to take JD out. Yeah, Dread Minion, I'm with you. I think it's more about Rommel may have known about it and been aware that it was happening, but wasn't necessarily involved. Favorite peacetime general? I have to think about that a little. Because most generals we know about through history, we know about them because of their involvement in war. Honestly, can't think of any that I could really name. Halsey or Nimitz, who's better? I think if I was going into a fight, a battle, a particular battle, I'd want Halsey. But if you want somebody to be the overall theater commander, Nimitz, which basically was the roles that they had. Oh, JD, you had to know that was coming. Nelson was going to go for those cards. That's how it goes. So you can see everybody's fairly even at this point in terms of the numbers. We all have about the same number of cards. We all have similar numbers of armies, though I would still argue that green would be my favorite to win right now because he's got such a powerful position that's difficult to attack. Whoever does attack him is probably going to take their self out too. Okay. No cards for me. Just got to make sure orange doesn't get those extra cards or those extra reinforcements. Oh man, still can't turn in cards. So everybody's got similar numbers of territories except me. I'm a little lower. Orange has got the most. Not sure what you gained by that, Orange. Only because Nelson's just going to march right back down there and hit you again. Although that's kind of best case scenario for you to not take that last territory there. Because now Nelson can't march this big force down on you again. Most successful admiral in the world. Well, you know, it's so hard. It's kind of like in sports when you try to compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James, for example, in basketball. You can't really do it because they played in different times against different players. So it's difficult to compare which one would be better in that same time period. Same thing with admirals. Admiral Akbar, of course, Dread Minion says. I mean, so you could say Nelson was the best admiral of his era, but then you could probably argue that someone like Nimitz might have been the best admiral of his time in World War II, or Yamamoto, if you want. You know, things like that. It's difficult to say, to compare one to the other. So I don't think it would really be fair for me to even try. Yeah, green's just gonna get tougher and tougher to beat all the time. Now he's got 2 continents. 3, 2. This second one here, this one's a big one. Because that one gets 4. Alright. I still can't trade in cards. Oh, it sounds like Anthony Martial just got a hat trick for Manchester United. I still have the game on upstairs. Yeah. David Robinson is the best admiral, Gregory. Nice. Nice. If you don't know, David Robinson is an American basketball player for the San Antonio Spurs. He actually played basketball in college at the Naval Academy, so his nickname was the Admiral. If I were the Japanese in World War II, what would I have done differently? To two things. One, not attack the United States. But barring that, I would say stick around Pearl Harbor until you could find the American carriers and take them out. I'm surprised we don't have a USS Halsey. At least not a carrier, because the carriers are all named after presidents for the most part now. There is a USS Halsey, but it's an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. It's named after Bull Halsey. Oh, Nelson looking tough. 52 armies. Man, that is some crappy cards right there. I got 4 guys. Oh, that's brutal. Stay out of China, work with the West until the oil situation can be worked out by trying diplomacy with the USSR. That's pretty solid advice, Dread Minion. I like that. I don't know that there was any situation where the U.S. was going to relent on the oil issue because they were pretty upset with Japan being aggressive toward China. So I think eventually that was probably headed for war no matter what. But you never know. Now I have to trade in cards, which stinks because they're crappy reinforcements. But that's where I am right now. Yeah, real bad luck on the cards. Oh, we're up to almost 50 people watching now. If you just joined us, everybody give a shout out real quick. Say where you are right now. Where are you watching from? Look at Farmer go. Keep going, Farmer. You got to march into that territory and take those 2 continents right there. No, right here, right here, right here. Oh, man. Go for the continent. Go, take his... Oh, Farmer, what are you doing? You gotta go for the continent. Don't let him hold one. But dang, that was rough. Nelson's looking good right now. Me and Nelson. See, it always comes down to at some point, 2 armies go head to head and they kind of take each other out. And then that opens the door for everybody else. It could have been me and Nelson going at it, and that would have hurt the 2 of us to do that. But it ended up being orange and green instead. Athens, Greece. Mitsos. Awesome. Good to have you. Bikar in Belgium. Very cool. Taif, Saudi Arabia. Awesome. We've got folks all over today. I love it. All right, Schnitzel. Let's see how you recover. Could have some cards to trade in. Speaking of, looks like I do not. San Antone, Greg. We were just talking about San Antonio, which is probably why Greg mentioned David Robinson. All right, what do we do here? So I think, are we safe right here with Wisconsin? Because I don't think Wisconsin can attack anywhere. They can't. Okay. So we could actually move these guys somewhere else. So Army Chow Mein, was your grandfather serving under Halsey? Yeah, Nelson, I wasn't planning on going after you either. I think that would be a lose-lose for the two of us, at least for now. Azan, Manchester. You a Man U fan? Are you watching right now? Anthony Martial just got a hat trick today. First Manchester United hat trick in the Premier League in like 7 years or something. My son's a big Manchester United fan. We're going to be coming to Manchester next year. So I'm excited about that. Hoping the Manchester United schedule works out to where we'll be able to catch a game while we're there. We're definitely going to tour Old Trafford. Hey, 50 people watching right now. Hello, hello. Please hit that like button if you would. I would greatly appreciate that. Oh, he served in the Marines, so he was still probably familiar with Halsey from that standpoint. I was, speaking of talking to people with kind of a front row view of history, I was speaking at a high school in Illinois, right outside of Chicago. And the principal of that school, his mother had played for the Rockford Peaches. If you've ever seen the movie A League of Their Own, about the women's professional baseball league that was during World War II and a little bit after, his mother played for the Rockford Peaches, and I was asking him about that. And he said that everybody on the team hated Dottie. Dottie was played by Gina Davis, was kind of the main character of the movie. And he said everybody hated her. So I thought that was kind of interesting to hear that first-hand viewpoint of somebody we've learned about in history. So JD's British and hates football. Well, I guess not everybody likes everything, right? Oh, Azan's a Man City fan. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Man City's been tough. They've had a really good couple of years, although this whole suspension thing kind of stinks for them. Look, Schnitzel's getting his territory kind of worked out now. Now it's looking kind of rough for Farmer at the moment. Still can't trade in cards. Goodness. I better not get another soldier this next time. That's just really going to stink. Decisions here. All right, what did I get? What did I get? Oh, yes, perfect. Get to trade in the big cards next time. JD, I'm pretty sure, believe it or not, that the origin of the name soccer actually comes from England also. So even though y'all call it football, you're the ones that came up with the name soccer too. Yeah, it looks like as long as this one's going, we'll probably only do one more, but we'll see. Nelson and I are looking pretty good right now. As long as we don't attack each other. It's that uneasy detente we have going on. Because if one of us attacks the other, we're both screwed. Because that's kind of what happened with orange and green. Call it football anyway. Yeah, Army Chow Mein, you make a really good point. And then like our team that we root for here in Ohio, Columbus Crew, they're Columbus Crew SC for soccer club. But yeah, a lot of them are FC. Of course, now we have two teams in Ohio, MLS teams, because we have FC Cincinnati. So yeah, like an hour and a half apart, you've got Columbus Crew SC and FC Cincinnati. Army Chow Mein, is that like asking about the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, and you have to ask African or European? Oh boy. Okay. Oh, 7. Ouch, that hurt. Sorry, farmer. Had to go for it. All right. Now, once again, decisions. Okay. Sorry, farmer, had to do it. R.I.P. and tear plays violently. Ah, and here comes Nelson. Taking advantage of me. Going after the orange. Making sure I don't have those continents. A good America is a blue America. Well, I wouldn't agree with you there, but that's okay. All right. Let's trade in some more cards, shall we? Two can play at that game, Nelson. All right, let's just do this. Nice. I wasn't going to attack you, but you attacked me first. I'm sorry, I had to retaliate. I was going to leave you alone and focus on green. You broke the détente. JD, don't lose the Second War of Independence. Meanwhile, Green's loving watching us tear each other apart. Because that makes Green's job that much easier. Just push forward this Nice little front right here. Watch us attack each other and then just kick butt. Nelson, I'll even let you have the south if you want to move in that way, and I'll focus on up here because we need to open up another front with green. Because if it's just me against green, he's going to overwhelm me, and then he's going to overwhelm you. So let's see what we can do here. I'm just going to make sure he doesn't get those reinforcements. Darn it. I forgot about this one here. Ah. Oh well. Nelson, you can have the south. Yeah, no need for a new front now. Don't listen, it's a trap. All right, Admiral Akbar. A green America means no Ford Mustang V8. Not that kind of green America. Don't do it. We'll both lose. Suddenly Nelson's looking good. Okay. Now what? The Green Party versus Republicans and Democrats. Yes, the green communists under Stalin over here. This has been one of the more even matches we've ever had on these streams. I'll say that. Okay. I didn't even look at my cards before. Oh, nice. That's helpful. All right, decisions here. Why do I keep finding myself the one who has to do this? This time I'll do it right. Green Mexican communist Stalin. No, don't forget German in there because his name is Schnitzel. JD, Boston is in Massachusetts. Yeah, as Colin said. All right, so Nelson's got the South now. Boy, this could not be more even. Now Nelson's probably the one that's in the best shape because now it's been me and Green fighting it out. Man, it's amazing how quickly that all shifts. Me and Nelson go at it, Green gets stronger. Me and Green go at it, Nelson gets stronger. Somehow I'm the one caught in the middle of the whole thing. Rayward, I think you're right about that. And Nelson is perfectly fine with that. As I would be too if I were in his position. All right. Somehow I'm the one that has to keep doing the dirty work here. No way I'll be able to hold that. When the Kaiser sends Lenin to Mexico instead. That's good. That's why I love you guys. You guys come up with the most clever, historical, obscure references. If you're not familiar with what he's talking about, during World War I, Lenin had been exiled from Russia, and the Germans put him on a train and got him back into the country so he could disrupt things in Russia because they knew that's what he wanted to do. Nelson, go for Green. I'm done taking you out. Detente. Let's call a truce. Let's do it. Let me just find a spot. Oh, man, there's no good spots for me to grab. All right, here's what I'm going to do, Nelson. Don't take this personally. I just need a card. It doesn't really hurt you in terms of continents anyway. But yeah, let's go after Green together, shall we? Army Chow Main's sitting over here like stirring the pot, trying to get Nelson to go after me. Ooh, boy. Man, we're also even. Although Nelson's got 62 armies, 16 territories, and 4 cards. And he's got 1, 2, 3 continents. Nothing there. Nelson is the mascot of this channel. I can't argue with that. I think that's probably true. I mean, what's the first thing we do when we get into a live stream is everybody says, "Where's Nelson?" And everybody starts singing Rule Britannia and tries to summon Nelson to the channel. That's why when I was looking for folks to be moderators for the Discord, he was kind of the first person I thought of. He, Mr. Beep, and they're the 2 moderators, and then I've got one who's listed as chief of staff. That's Custer. because he's done a lot of the work for me and setting up the Discord channel and kind of making changes and stuff. Man, we're up to 57 people watching, but only 33 likes. So please hit that like button. I would appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We got a lot of regulars, but we got some new folks too, and I love seeing new people. I hope you enjoy it. Please continue the conversation over on Discord. We have a very active Discord server. A lot of it's ridiculous goofiness, but it's still fun. And you'll see Nelson all over that too. All right. So Nelson, all right, Nelson, I don't know how long I can sit here and watch you have 75 armies and look this tough. I feel like I got to do something here. The question is where. That looks like where. Oh, 16 and 19. That was brutal. People there are sometimes called mass holes. I've never heard that one, but that fits. I can't argue with that. So now we're back to pretty even. I was just kind of making sure Nelson didn't get so powerful that that he became unstoppable. That's why I had to do that. So now you can see we're back to pretty even. Man, this is fascinating because this could go on for a little while. Don't trust those Midwesterners, Chow Mein says. Didn't I say I was done hitting you? I was for the time being. As one knows in Risk, any truce is only good until it no longer favors both sides evenly. And if green starts getting more powerful, then we'll both go after him. Zach Mills enters the chat. Excellent. Good to see you, Zach. This has been an interesting fight. It's been going for an hour now, and there's really no clear leader. It's kind of devolved into 3 regions fighting it out. Oh, that's brutal. Terrible cards. All right, let's see. Green's got 4 cards now. And a bunch of territories. Boy. Build up Ohio. There we go. It's a risky game, yes. Oh, Mr. Beep, I have a feeling someone's going to break this stalemate pretty soon. Army Chow Mein, when I was a youth pastor full-time for 14 years and worked with hundreds of young kids and middle schoolers and high schoolers, and we would do a junior high retreat and a senior high retreat every year. And we would do a Risk tournament. It was like the big culmination of our retreat. We would have this Risk tournament. And it was me and my wife, and then 4 of the students would play. And for 6 years in a row, either my wife or I won every single Risk tournament. And it was interesting because a couple of the high school boys started referring to me as Grima Wormtongue. If you are familiar with Lord of the Rings, you know the reference. Because they understood that as much as strategy played a role, for me, I played the talking game. I would constantly be talking to the other players and trying to talk them into things or try to convince them why such and such was a good idea, why they should attack here, why they should build up there. And it was always good advice, but it was always good advice that also benefited me. And some of them eventually caught on to that. Zach, I've been well. How about yourself? Are you excited that baseball's coming back? Finally get to see your Houston Astros back in action. Nelson says he wants to rule the world, not just the USA, because we're going to do a world map next. Okay. Oh, Zach, I'm afraid you're probably going to see some of that with the Astros. Although I'll say this, this long layoff, since all that news broke about all that stuff, probably helps because people aren't thinking about what the Astros did quite as much. I'm not sure I'm going to have time to finish Nelson off. It's going to be close. Oh, brutal. Okay. Yeah, see, here's the problem now. Wow. Oh my gosh. Nelson, what the heck was that at the end? You brutalized me. I should have taken him out. Oh, jeez. I think Green just won the game because of those couple of rolls I had there at the end. Wow. I can't even believe that happened. Man. That was painful. I don't know if you saw the schedules. You know, they're only going to be playing so many teams. A lot of the teams aren't even going to play each other. They're basically playing their own division and then, like, I think one other division is how it works this year in baseball. So there, Green got Nelson. Oh, I'm so screwed. I can't believe that. That's the only thing that helps me right now is the number of reinforcements I'm getting. That's funny. It just now popped up and said Nelson was defeated, even though it had already happened. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, I think we'll sit tight for now. Nelson is a boss fight in the game. Yep. See, Green's got the cards, which helps him tremendously right now. Now he can march through and kind of nail a bunch of my territories here. Smart move. We're pretty even, except he's got the better end of things as far as cards go, and that might make all the difference. What are you people doing with the good lucks and stuff? I'm gonna have to mute Nelson here in a minute. Yeah, this could still go either way. It's gonna depend on his cards. There, he got 12. My big advantage is the number of territories I have. But he could change that right here. Okay. And I still can't turn in cards. Ah, boy. When the game is released, Nelson will have 1 billion hit points. This will go back and forth for a little while until somebody scores a decisive victory. Oh, no, not there. Right there. I have a feeling this is going to be over in a couple of turns. Yeah, because if he hadn't done that, I was going to do it. Difference is I was waiting until I could turn in my cards. Which I can now do. Ouch. Well, that kind of stunk. Nowhere to fortify. He's down to just 5 territories, but he's got 5 cards, which means he's trading in. So he's got 20 armies now. My sacrifice made this possible. Nelson, thank you for your sacrifice. And JD as well. Still not going to be able to trade in this turn. That's okay. No. Do that. All right. Hopefully I can turn in next time. I cannot. This is killing me. These cards are killing me. Yeah, I know I've got the game. It's just a matter of when I can get my cards turned in so I can finish off his last couple territories. And it looks like it's going to have to be at least one more turn from now. As soon as I can get these cards, I think I'll have them. Might be able to... Nah, I'll be able to do it here. Need to put a couple there. And let's go one more there. All right, that should do it. Unless we get a bad roll somewhere. And this will do it. Awesome. Great game, guys. Great game. That was awesome. All right. That went really long, and I probably shouldn't do another one, but we'll do another one. Let's get my friend requests out to our new competitors here. Okay, here we go. First come, first serve. We're going to go classic this time. And by classic, I mean this classic, not the one that has like the extra things. So here we go. We're not going to do manual placement. We got to get into this one. So I'm going to get my blue. First come, first serve. You can see the code right there. First 5 of you to join, get to play. Mark, I have been getting really good at regional accents in the UK. In fact, if I'm watching somebody speaking and they're from the UK, I can usually pick out their accents better than I can pick out US accents. So everybody hit ready. I'm going to go ahead and start in just a minute. Just little things like, and I can't always put my finger on it, but I can usually pick out accents, whether, like West Midlands accents, especially around Birmingham. Picking out accents like from the London area. In the north, I can usually tell the difference between Glasgow and Edinburgh accents from Scotland, which is kind of cool. I get to go second this time. Woo! Looks like Africa is going to be mine. Nelson, you might have a good shot at Europe. But one of the things, like I've noticed, for example, if you watch, if any of you watch Peaky Blinders on Netflix, which is one of my favorite shows, it takes place in Birmingham. One of the things that I think they call it the Brummie accent, because my family's from Birmingham, is there's a particular way of how they do a hard consonant sound on the end of a word. Kind of like Forrest Gump would do. So like when you say the word running, in Birmingham, in their accent, they tend to, like they'll say running, or, you know, like they'll do a hard sound on those on the end of those words that have a vowel or a consonant at the end of them. So little things like that help you to pick up on those accents. So Nelson, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get out of Africa if you can, or you might not want to focus on that. I don't know. Nael, I'm doing well. How about yourself? Nael, you just missed an epic first match. We were fighting on the United States map, and it went really pretty long. Yeah, sorry, JD. It looks like other people beat you to the punch on this one, but we'll do more of these. And join us on the server. I mean, I know you're on the Discord server. We're always doing a bunch of matches. Nelson's always organizing people to play. So even if we're not streaming, there's always people playing. So who did I just see was... Yeah, Nelson's going to blitz toward the aisles. Pavel, how you doing? Good to see you. I see you all the time over on the Discord. Nael, I'm making steak for dinner, so I hope that pleases you. Well, Nelson tried to make a break for it with his Africa core. Didn't quite work out. Oh, the fight for Australia is on. There's a Minty Judgment. Who's Minty Judgment? Is that one of you guys? I'm curious if it's somebody in the chat. Yeah, Mark, for me, it was, I just wrote a book on my family. I've been researching family history. I've been a professional genealogist for over 20 years. And I just wrote a book about my ancestors who came. They started in Tipton, which is northwest of Birmingham, in the West Midlands. And then they lived in Glasgow, Scotland for 20 years. And then came to America in the 1860s, right after the Civil War. And so I found myself watching videos on like the Glaswegian accent, on the Brummie accent, just trying to immerse myself in their world, trying to understand what they sounded like when they talked, things like that. So Lost Brit, you're a Scot, so you say you find the Glaswegian accent interesting, so I assume you're not from Glasgow. What part of Scotland are you in? I'm curious. Hey, Pavel, take care, man. So one of the helpful ways to understand accents is to understand, like if you look at celebrities who speak a certain way, for example, I believe that Gerard Butler is from the Glasgow area. I know, oh gosh, he used to have a talk show here in America. Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson, I think, is Glaswegian, and so that gives you an idea of what the Glasgow accent is like. Obviously, like if you want to know the Cockney accent, which is pretty rare, not a lot of people speak it, but obviously everyone looks at what's his name for that one? The guy that played the butler in Dark Knight. Nael, this is actually only our second one because the first one went for almost an hour and a half. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, John. There you go. Craig Ferguson. Yeah, Mark. That's who it is. It's funny because there's this delay between what I'm saying and what you guys see. So I think it's like 15 seconds or so. So by the time you guys hear me ask the question, I've probably already answered it. Okay. South Africa. Can I take East Africa? Nope, wasn't quite that lucky. That's okay. Wait, where else are my other armies? Okay, let's get out of Nelson's way in Europe. Yes, James McAvoy is also from Glasgow. He does an excellent American accent. Michael Caine's who I was thinking of. Yeah, it took me quite a while to figure out that James McAvoy wasn't an American. He was. A lot of people don't realize this. James McAvoy was in Band of Brothers before anybody knew who he was. Michael Fassbender was in Band of Brothers. Oh gosh, who's the other guy? The one that played. This is what happens when I'm streaming. I can't remember things. The one that played Bane in the Batman movies. He's also in Peaky Blinders. British actor. But he was also in Band of Brothers. He plays Private Janovic. A lot of British actors were in Band of Brothers because they filmed it over there, but had great American accents. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Oh, you got to have a good... Oh, look at Nelson. He decides to turn around and go for Australia. Bold move, sir. Yeah, James McAvoy did get killed in his one episode. He played a replacement that was killed in Holland. James Miller. Tom Hardy is who I was thinking of. Thank you, Erie. The guy who plays Johnny Martin, who's from Ohio, in Band of Brothers, was actually the guy who directed Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie. He's a big-time director now. I think he also directed the movie, the Elton John movie that came out soon after. Yes, Jimmy Fallon's in Band of Brothers. He's in he plays a lieutenant from an armored division who brings them a bunch of ammunition just as they're going into Bastogne. Scottish accents automatically make a comedian 20% funnier. I can't argue with that. And you know what? I got to admit, as a YouTuber, I find myself at a disadvantage because I feel like people with British accents do some games just so much better. Like, I love listening to people with a British accent narrating their gameplay so much more than I do an American. Yes, Army Chow Mein, you're thinking of... Oh, man, I'm dying with names today. He plays Scotty in Star Trek, and he's in Mission Impossible. But yeah, he plays First Sergeant Evans, who dies on D-Day. What's his name? Darn it, I'm going to look it up and figure it out before you guys even hear me ask the question. Simon Pegg, that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, the guy who plays House is British. Yeah, that threw me off too. You want to see something, it's not for everybody, but if you like Monty Python, he's in a series on Netflix where they're basically doing a cruise ship in space, and he starts with a British accent and then, or with an American accent, and then you find out he's British, like, as you get into the show. It's funny. No, Mark, you're thinking of James Doohan, who was the original actor who played Scotty. I was talking about the one who plays him in the new one, Simon Pegg, as Cern Shadow just mentioned. James Doohan, though, there's a cool story. James Doohan, I believe, was with the Canadian forces that landed on D-Day. I got to look this up, but I'm pretty sure he was it Juno Beach or Gold? I can't remember which beach they landed on. He was member of the 2nd Canadian Infantry Division, 14th Midland Field Battery. Then he was commissioned a lieutenant in the 14th Field Artillery Regiment, 3rd Canadian Infantry. He saw combat landing at Juno Beach on D-Day. He was wounded multiple times. He was actually shot 6 times by friendly fire, 4 in the leg, once in the chest, and once through his right middle finger. The bullet to his chest was stopped by a silver cigarette case that had been given to him by his brother, but he had to have his right middle finger amputated. Yep, Super Salmon just mentioned what I was just talking about. Your chat popped up about losing the finger just as I was saying it. And yes, John, he was. He was a BA for sure. I'm not even paying attention to the game. I'm here like watching the chat the whole time. Green's down to just 6. Who is Green? Oh, Mr. Beep. Rough day for Mr. Beep. Mr. Beep's actually a very good player at this game. It just wasn't his day at all. Julie, your grandfather was on the Warspite. That's awesome. Crazy Warriors Cat Fan returns. I just had you guys muted for a second. My daughter opened the door to tell me good morning. She just came downstairs from her bedroom. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. She wanted to know if I was using the TV. Okay. Nelson, let's have ourselves an uneasy truce again, shall we? That's as far as I want to go in attacking you. Well, that was kind of dumb on my part, wasn't it? I could have taken Green out. That's what happens why I wasn't paying attention. I let Beep live. John, your pastor's father-in-law served with Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, a lot of people don't know Jimmy Stewart was a bomber pilot. He ended up a brigadier general after the war in the reserves. But yeah, Jimmy Stewart flew combat missions during World War II. Quite a few of them, actually. Jimmy Stewart's from Indiana, Pennsylvania, which is my wife's grandfather's hometown. He was born and raised just outside of Indiana in a little town called Clymer. The airport's still named after Jimmy Stewart down there in Indiana. Indiana, PA is just east of Pittsburgh. Army Chow Mein, always there to make sure that Nelson keeps one wary eye on me. Purple and green, very thin right now. Can green turn in cards is the question. Did he get lucky with the 3 that he has? Nope, guess not. Oh, you guys are going to like what I'm about to do. As soon as we get through Orange's turn. Orange has got to build up and hold on to that continent. I'd probably throw a couple each place. This is going to be epic, folks. This is going to be epic. If it goes according to plan, this may be one of the best turns I ever have on this game. Now, it may not go according to plan. One bad roll could throw this whole thing off. But if this goes right, I'm going to get 8 cards on this turn. There's 4. Sorry, Minty Judgment. I had no choice. Okay, now I'm definitely going to get all the cards that I was after. Oh my gosh, this is like the best day of my life. Yeah, orange should have loaded everything in Central America and taken green. Oh my gosh, this is glorious. Glorious. Oh, this is amazing. Wow. Nelson had the right idea. I got to trade in cards again. I traded in cards 3 times on that turn. And I'm still going to have 4 when it's over. Well, that was fun. Wait. That was a lot of fun. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. That was too fun for me. Lost Brit, you had a great uncle who was a Lancaster tail gunner. Man, that's hardcore. My wife's grandfather, the one that I said was from Indiana, PA, was I think he was a tail gunner on a B-17. Trying to remember which unit he was with. I want to say the 379th Bomb Group. Yes, he was in the 379th Bomb Group in the 8th Air Force. JD, that's awesome. Operation Market Garden. Was he on the ground forces, or was he in one of the airborne units? Super Salmon says, help me. Yeah, Rayward, you're right. Orange could have done what I did there. Nelson's doing what he's got to do. That's the right move. If I were Orange, I'd probably go up in Alaska and try to get a card right here. But you could do that too. Ganging up on me is kind of what everybody has to do right now. That's the one bad thing about what I did was I made myself a target. Oh, Orange is going to fortify and sit tight. Yeah, I'm not turning those in. Let's see. What fighter group would you join in World War II? I don't know, that 303rd, that Polish group fighting in the battle for Britain was pretty good. Mark, you know, when I think of the movie Bridge Too Far, I always think of, was it Gene Hackman played the Polish commander? John, I'll have to check that out. I'm not familiar with the 155 battery. I mentioned at the top of the video that I've got a new video coming up a little bit later. I played some War of Rights today. It was actually pretty epic. It was a lot of fun. Didn't get to explore artillery yet. I know they have artillery in the game yet, and I've seen some videos of it, but they didn't have any in the games I was in, but we had a ball. So that'll go live in a little while. Tomorrow we'll get back to Age of Sail and Victor at Sea Pacific. We'll get those two videos up tomorrow probably. General Savyaski, that's Sasevsky. Super Salmon, you can have Europe for now. I'm a little more concerned about orange at the moment. 9. Crazy work, Cat Fan says 9. Imagine the scene from Downfall, if you will, with Hitler saying 9, 9, 9. JD, I think the guys who made Band of Brothers in the Pacific are working on one about, I think it's called the Mighty Eighth. It's about the 8th Air Force. Should be pretty intense when they get it done. Oh, brutal card trade in on this one. Orange is going to turn in cards on his next turn, so I can't wait to do this. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Yeah, Nelson, that's a good question about why you're parked in Madagascar. It's probably not ideal. You got 14 armies you can't really use. Yeah, Rayward, there's a lot of memes from that scene. That one's right up there with like Michael Scott from The Office saying, "Okay, it's happening." The Greyhound movie, yeah, that's being released on, is it on Apple TV? Yeah, Risk Stream chats are always interesting, Warrior Cat Fan. You are absolutely right about that. We'll have to make sure we do these at least once a week, the Risk chat. Maybe we'll even try to do it on the same day to make it regular. Look at Nelson. Nelson's suddenly more powerful than I am. We're going to have to do something about that, Nelson. That can't stand. Here I am, like all kind of just casually going about my gameplay, and Nelson's building a huge force. What do I do next is the question. I have an idea of what I want to do next. I'm not entirely sure it's possible. But it might be. No, I don't think it's going to be possible. At least not yet. And then it might not be worth it. Did you like? I liked Midway. I liked it. My only complaint, I've said this before about the new Midway movie, is I felt like they tried to do too much, which I understand why they did it, because they were trying to give context to Midway by showing Pearl Harbor and the Solomons and all these kinds of things, and the Doolittle raid. But it felt like it felt like it was too much. I wish they would have just focused more on Midway, or they just could have made the movie longer, and I would have been okay with that too. But I know it was kind of an independent thing; it wasn't backed by a major studio. But I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't crazy about the lead actor. I know I think he's British too. The guy who played, doing terrible with names. The guy who played the main character in that one. The guy who took out 2 carriers on his own that day. I wasn't real crazy about his character in there, but I loved it overall, and I thought the Dennis Quaid was the perfect choice for Bull Halsey. I loved him as that character. Coral Sea, that's what I was thinking of that they showed. All right, what's Farmer going to do here? Three movies, or at least do a much longer movie. John Williams made the music for the original Midway. I did not know that. That's cool. Dude's fantastic composer. Captain Rex, I loved 1917. I wish we had more World War I movies. We've got really such a dearth of good World War I movies. Speaking of, posted a video a little while ago that you guys can check out later, where we're voting on the best series, best TV show of all time, historical and movie and things like that. Crazy Warrior Cat Fan, yes, they did. There's a scene with Coral Sea, and you see the Yorktown heavily damaged, and I think, isn't that where the one guy shot down the Japanese bomber by jumping into the machine gun position of one of the American planes on the carrier, and he got a commendation and a promotion by Bull Halsey on the spot for that. Boy. All right, let's do this, Nelson. Yeah, Flyboys is pretty good, I think. World War I movie. A lot of people don't know this. Speaking of World War I and Flyboys, President Theodore Roosevelt's. Let's just do this. Oh, brutal. Yeah, I'm pretty well done now. But so is Nelson. President Theodore Roosevelt's son was killed in World War I in 1918. He was a pilot. Yep, Nelson, this is your chance, or somebody else's chance. Bruno Gaido, that's his name. Crazy Warriors. I'm trying to think of what you are referring to with the Pearl Harbor scene in Midway. I'd have to go back and watch it again. Yeah, you're right. Korean War is definitely forgotten with movies and games. My grandpa's brother was in the infantry in the Korean War. Right on the front lines, saw some horrible things. Remembered vividly the Chinese assault waves of just these massive amounts of troops coming across the border, attacking them. Man, it's pretty even again. Can orange trade in cards is the question. Yes, Teddy Roosevelt's son. He's a character in the movie of The Longest Day. His son Teddy Jr. Was given the medal. He was an assistant, landed with the troops on D-Day, and actually really helped kind of resolve some serious issues of coordination that were happening on the ground. He got the Medal of Honor, died of a heart attack like a week later. So I think he's buried over in Europe. Glitch here. Oh, there we go. Something's happening with my game. I better not be losing my internet connection. All right, here we go. Yeah, USS Enterprise, Bruno Guido. And Guido died. He was on a plane that was shot down and was tied to an anchor and thrown overboard by the Japanese. Yeah, Halsey had, I think, shingles is what he had. And he was basically benched before the Battle of Midway. Woohoo, look at Yellow. We left him in Europe for yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm starting to lose my signal. I keep freezing up here. Wrapping this one up soon, I'm afraid. If this keeps happening. Are you also seeing that, or if it's just on my end that this is happening? How to scare Japan, name a ship Enterprise. We have a new Enterprise coming, by the way. I think one of the new Gerald Ford class carriers that are being built is going to be the Enterprise. Oh, Nelson's looking good now. Man, look at this. Look at what's happening in North America right now. This is crazy. Stop right there. I'd stop right there if I were you. Go big or go home. That's what they say, right? Ouch. I'm probably out of this one anyway. But at least I can say I took out 3 of my 5 opponents. Sorry, Farmer. Of course, now the question is, will somebody take me out? Because Yellow probably could. Farmer just got farmed for cards. You people are sick. I love it. Yeah, I know I could have gotten yellow when he was weak. Now Nelson, I think it's Nelson's game to lose if he plays his cards right, so to speak. Because he's pretty strong in 2 continents right now. And I'm not sure that yellow is going to hang on to Europe. Certainly not right here. I think I'm good there. I'm just kind of a band of roving nomads right now, looking for a home. Do I also like Pepsi Connection Clouds? Where do you think my daughter got it from? Of course I like Pepsi. I taught her well. Mark, have fun with that. You too. Take care, man. Glad you were here. Hey, Mark, join us over on the Discord. If you have Discord, there's a lot of great chat goes on there, even when we're not streaming. So check it out. Walt Kelly, you did, and it's been an epic one, too. We've been doing Risk for 2 hours. This is only our second match because the first one went so long. It was a pretty epic match, actually. I've taken out 3 of the 5 other players on this one besides myself, and yet still I'm not in a very strong position. The Discord there's a link in the description of the video that'll take you to my Discord server. A lot of the folks you see playing in these matches are very active over there. How could I take so many cards and not be winning? I didn't hold on to any continents successfully. I found myself right in between yellow and red, and I just didn't hang on to it. I weakened myself so much in taking those cards in the first place that by the time I took all the cards, I really wasn't any stronger than Nelson, even after all that. Michael, I've never seen that one, but I've heard about that movie on the Battle of the River Plate. Dang. So much for me, huh? Bye-bye me. And hopefully I can continue to watch here. Yeah, let's spectate. So now we'll watch the battle between Nelson and I forget who this is. Super Salmon. Yeah, Nianios, I definitely, that was where I pretty much lost it, was when I went up against Nelson. I did YOLO there for sure. Yeah, I agree. Greyhound looks fantastic. I think Tom Hanks actually helped write that script for that movie. We're lucky to have somebody like people like Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg who have a ton of clout in Hollywood but love honoring World War II and the memory of those events. Will it not let me? Okay, I can still see. Yeah, I'd say Nelson's got this one. He's got 5 card dance, 72 men. All right, Mr. Beep, take care, man. JD, I did let Super Salmon get too powerful. I think Nelson, once Nelson gets his armies into position, he can take this in another turn or two. Yeah, I don't have Apple TV is my problem. I mean, I have an Apple TV. I don't have the subscription service. I have to get it to watch Greyhound, I guess. We need one more on the Discord for 600. I'm sure somebody can handle that. Warriors, yes, I have seen Man in the High Castle. Big fan. I love Rufus Sewell, so anything he's in usually draws me to it. Plus, I love alternate history. All right, let's see what Nelson does here with his reinforcements and cards. Nope. Britannia will never, never, never be slaves. Not today. I'd say Nelson's got it. Just not on this turn. Just kill me already, Salmon says. Oh, Nelson will win on this turn. Well done, Nelson. Congratulations on the victory. The map is red. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you had a lot of fun. Join us over on the Discord server. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We'll come back with some more in a little while, another day, and I've got some more videos coming up later today. So thanks for watching. Congratulations, Nelson.